What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Street Couch Podcast. I'm your host, Danny Tabs, and right here we got Andy Land.
What's up, bro?
Want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Yes. So my name is Andy. We are in Andy Land. I go by Super Andy Land on Instagram.
So is the super part like Mario inspired or?
Definitely Mario inspired. Yeah. Ironically enough, though, I never played Super Mario Land. I never played that one. Yeah, I've never played the game Super Andy Land, but I mean Super Mario Land.
That'd be cool to have a game like with you though.
Being there, yeah. Hey, we're speaking some stuff here, yeah. Well, no, but Mario World, I'm a big Mario guy. Like I got Mario 3 tatted on my arm. I would say, yeah, I'm like heavily Mario influenced, man. So like, I'm a big retro gamer, and so like Mario Land, Mario World, that kind of thing, just kind of inspired by that. That's kind of the only real inspiration. Funny enough, though, I will mention this when you did the interview with Midnight Spies, and I they name dropped me, and funny enough, you tagged my Instagram name. I had just changed it like the day before, like to like Andy Land Band.
Okay.
Right, because I was like, maybe that'll be easier for people to discover me.
Okay.
And then I barely changed my mind, like the next day. And then when this came out, I really literally only had it up for like a day.
Okay.
And I changed my name back. And when your video came up, you like had it tagged. You tagged me like Andy Land Band. I'm like, damn right, dude, right. The one day, it was one day. Like I didn't have it that way. And I guess you're sourcing, to tag me in there. And I was like, damn. I was like, just one day I didn't have it for Super Andy Land. But yeah, man, it's just all Mario influence, man. I think anything, with my music and anything I do is always going to be influenced by like the video games and stuff I played when I was a kid.
Did you have like a favorite console growing up?
Ooh, good question. So the 64
Yeah.
was definitely my number one.
Same.
As a kid. Even when I like going into my teenage years, I was still rocking that out. Played a lot of Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, Smash Bros. I would switch from Smash Bros to 64 sometimes just to, like I'm saving Peach and now I'm whooping ass. Star Fox 64 was one of my favorites. I would say that, but that's more of a nostalgic thing though.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always have a fun time playing that, but objectively, I feel like the PS2.
Oh shit!
Man. Too many classics, man.
I actually never had one, but I did have an uncle that lived with me for a while, and he had one, and I would play it sometimes, and there were like some really cool games on there.
There's some classic. What games did you play?
Honestly, I forgot the name, but it was like this astronaut like in Mars or something, and he had like an AI wife or like robot wife or something like that. I forgot what the game was called, dude. I tried googling it, and like I still can't find the fucking name.
All right. Well, I definitely played, the Grand Theft Auto series.
Oh, yeah.
3,
Classics.
Vice City, right? Classic.
San Andreas.
Yep. San Andreas is probably
That's
my
a really
favorite.
good one.
Yeah, San Andreas was definitely inspiring for me. Kingdom Hearts,
I actually never played Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, well, I was fortunate enough to, experience Kingdom Hearts because it was one of those games that, like, it's a classic and a lot of people know about it. But when, in the moment, like, being able to actually pick up on that game before it, when 2 came out, that's when everybody was like, oh, this game's nuts because, they upgraded the combat system and all that. And, that one's a classic. There's some classics that I do own, ironically enough, but I've never played yet. Like God of War and Devil May Cry. I have them like laminated and everything.
I have played God of War.
You played God of War? I played the first one. I didn't beat it yet, but I was playing through it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty badass. Like, but funny enough, right? So I used to play San Andreas and all those like pretty explicit games. But my mom and dad, for some reason, they were like, yo, you cannot play the God of War because they thought that was like devil stuff. You know what I mean? Like brujeria. Yeah.
I think he does go to hell and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He does go to hell. He does fight. All that. And my mom and dad were like, no, you're not playing none of that shit. But I can like do drive-bys, on San Andreas and kill people.
Get hookers.
But they're like, have sex with hookers and lower the volume. But they were not down for me to like. They're like, no, you're not playing that. That's evil, Ironically enough, but I played it again though, and it's a pretty cool time. PS2, I would say, is probably the favorite. 360's up there too, man. Halo, the Halo days, the SmackDown versus Raw, the Gears days. Oh my God, that takes me back. Gears 1 and 2 and 3. After that, I don't think I remember playing any of the newer ones. But
Gears of War.
Gears of War.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played that one too.
Yeah, that's a classic, man. It's a classic. So I would say it's like those 3 are the ones that impacted me the most.
Okay.
Man. That PlayStation 2, 64, and the Xbox 360.
Like growing up, I never had a PlayStation, but I did have a cousin who let me borrow a PSP once, and that's where I played God of War. I think Raw versus SmackDown or something like that.
Yeah, SmackDown versus Raw. Dragon Ball Z games. I forgot. Why didn't I not mention Dragon Ball Z? Budokai 3. Used to love playing that game.
I played Dragon Ball Z games on the Game Boy.
Game Boy?
Yeah.
Oh, I played that one too. Like the Saga. It's like walk around, but you're fighting.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I played that one before. Yeah.
That one was pretty cool, actually.
That one is cool. I played that on emulator. I didn't have it, but I had I used to have an emulator on my phone, like old phone, way back in high school, and I used to play a bunch of games.
That's badass.
Yeah. Those emulators are pretty clutch.
Yeah, like
dude, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to say, because I just see your movie collection, right? 'Cause we're talking about old like video games, and I just can't. I see the Spider-Mans, and I'm like, dude, that movie, like, you have all three of them, like the Raimi, right?
Yeah, I got more right here. I don't know if you see them.
The newer ones.
Not Spider-Man, but just like more movies.
Dude, you got some sick movie collections. I'm not even gonna lie. Man. I can't help but just look at it and be like, oh, I love that movie. I love that movie. That's the original Hulk, right?
Yes.
The very first one.
Yeah,
right? I love that one. I know it's like, some people give it shit, but I love that. It's the first one. It was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I don't mean to. So, because they kind of, the old video games and old movies, they kind of go, it takes you back, right?
Yeah,
to the moment,
for sure,
right?
for sure.
Like Spider-Man 1, dude, I remember going to the theater as a kid.
Same.
And people, it was packed out. Like the whole theater was packed out. There's people sitting on the stairs. They snuck in. And like I remember like when what's it called? Green Goblin threw the shit at Spider-Man, right? And he like weaved it. He did the whole backflip and everything. And everybody stood up and like clapped, like, oh my god! Like I vividly remember that, dude. And like. I always connect because those series 2, 3, 1, even 3, man. I love 3. I don't care.
Yeah. I saw it in theaters. Yeah.
I don't care the shit that one gets to. I loved it, bro. I loved the whole, him, being dark, emo. That was sick, dude. I liked it. I didn't mind it. Emo Toby was sick, dude. It definitely makes for the memes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, video games and movies, man. I would say like definitely some of these older ones like that. I would say they definitely play a part in like my creative process. And
100%.
Even like just painting, just like when I'm painting or writing songs or anything, it's kind of just it plays a part. Like I'm always just kind of digging back to like, what was I like as a kid, and then it just all kind of just comes out, flows out, and filtered through an adult version of me now.
Yeah, like now they have more like experience and skill. You can actually like create something based on what you like.
Yeah, man. Yeah, gathering that kind of, I wouldn't say maybe nostalgic, but that old, just that childhood energy, and then just transferring it through as an adult, and that's kind of my game. And so
like something I've been thinking about is like, okay, like everything I'm doing now with like Street Couch is gonna be a culmination of everything I've been working on since I was like a little kid.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and funny enough too, right? Like I think I've heard this on I forgot what interview I heard this from. Like it's kind of like the comparison is like to an album. Like as an artist, like you have your whole life to make your first album or your first piece of work or whatever that passion is. And then you have maybe about like 6 months to a year to make the next one, make the next thing happen, right? So it's like it's natural for any artist, starting anything up, whether it's an entrepreneurship or like a band or like an album, and it's natural to like dig back deep and find stuff to like really root to what you want and get that going. Then you got like some time to make the next one, and you're like, okay, now we gotta hurry up and make the next one. We don't have that much of a childhood to dig for the next one. Like,
we gotta keep moving.
Yeah, we gotta keep it moving now. You can still get pieces, but it's time to keep working.
You can like let your work evolve. Let it grow itself.
Right, and growing as a person too, right? Experiencing life.
Yes, exactly.
Doing a bunch of stuff that helps too, man.
I heard in your interview with Inside the North Side, you kind of took like a little break from music, or I think from like 2020 like to 2023 you mentioned something about taking a break or something.
Yes, dude. So
what was that like?
Yeah, good question, man, dude. So I lived in Los Angeles from 2016 to 2020.
Okay.
And in those 4 years, when I first moved out there, I was wanted to be an actor, and so I did some I didn't do anything voice. I did short films.
Oh,
some
nice.
college short films, and I can maybe even play you one after this.
Sweet.
Definitely not for the public. But it was a cool video. It's a cool little short film I did. But I wanted to be like an actor. Like I did musical theater and stuff. So always wanted to perform. I always wanted to be on stage. I was kind of new. I was new to the film though. Like I was new being seen on camera, and kind of like I was still like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, the stage is different. It's just like, oh, I could be big and crazy, but on camera it's kind of like detail. Like you got. And I'm such a goofy dude, man. Like I'm not like being serious on camera. I'm just like, nah, dude. Like like I want to have fun.
I feel that. I'm like, I'm really awkward as a person. Yeah. So like being on camera, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, dude. I'm fine with the camera, but it's just like I'd rather just be myself. Like if you're telling me, hey, like read this script, and it's just a serious scene, and you're about to cry, I'm like, nah, dude. Like maybe on stage it's just a little different. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a different world. I feel immersed. Yeah. Whereas 100%. On camera, it's like capturing a moment, and that's where like the skills of those actors, like it really like. That's where you really are skillful as an actor, where you can like turn it on and off consistently.
It's a switch.
Yeah, that like, switch.
You become like a different person when the camera goes on.
Right, man. And I did something similar, but it's just on stage. It's different. Everyone's got costumes on. People are watching us.
I saw that. Yeah,
it's very different. But I went out there for a bit. For the first 4 months, I like did that, but I was still producing. I was writing my own songs and whatnot, and after a while, I was just like, moving to LA, I'm like realizing like I want to be a musician. I'm just gonna go hard on this. I'm gonna take a back seat. No more getting headshots. No more learning monologues.
Okay.
And I just started going hard as fuck on music, man. I started. I would just, man, I didn't know what I was doing. I'll just say that. I didn't know how to write songs. I couldn't tell you how I was structuring my songs. I couldn't tell you anything. Like, I could play you, and there's stuff I can even play you now that, like, I used to work on, like, back in the days that had some really good ideas, but I just didn't know exactly what I was doing. And I was just putting in hella work. I had a friend that I lived with that moved out to LA and joined us, in our apartment, and he was a very talented producer. And he like taught me how to produce, essentially, like kind of just guided me through my system, and it was like, hey, okay, put the hi-hat here, put that there. And then I like after the first beat or two, when he helped me with that, I was just like, oh man, let me just like I got addicted and just started going hard on making beats, man. It was doing the Kanye routine, man, a beat every day. And I was doing that for a long time. I did that from probably so I would say like late 2017 all the way until the end of 2018. So about a year roughly. Like I was just fucking producing. And then at the beginning of 2019, really, I met a friend named Zach that I still work with really closely. He's one of my best friends. And he's an amazing songwriter. And I met him in 2018, like late 2018. And he pretty much taught me. He taught me he's a pop guy, man. And he's like heard my stuff. And I was like, dude, you got good ideas. And God bless him, man. He was very patient with me, right? Because off rip, he could have been like, hey, you need to do this. You need to do that, right? But he was just like, no, he's being patient with me. He's like, cool idea, cool this. And kind of slowly being like, hey, maybe you should try this.
Okay.
Maybe you should try that, right? And then beginning of 2019, I finally like recorded a couple good stuff. Like I think we finally wrote a song together where he was right next to me. And that was something new to me too. Like, I used to be the guy, man. I used to hate like singing in my apartment. I used to be like my roommates were around. I guess I was like a little embarrassed to kind of like do my music.
Yeah.
Which is so weird to say now because it's like, dude, like now I can care less, dude. I'll record anywhere. I'll record here. We'll put on a mic up here. Like I'll scream in here, right? Whatever. And but at the time I was just still a little embarrassed and I was still getting over that hump. And so, but when I finally, kind of got open to like, okay, man, you can be next to me and help me write. And we wrote a couple good songs. And then after that, he turned it up and said, okay, now let's crack down. Now it's like,
let's get to business or whatever.
Yeah, let's get to business. Now you should do this, do that. And I was and then it changed from a beat a day to a song a day, or at least in, ideas every day. I used to just record every day, man. I used to record voice memo ideas and everything every day. I used to just go hard. I got obsessed. I used to Google like my favorite songwriters, like who wrote this song, who wrote like old pop songs from back in the day. Like I know everybody knows who Dr. Luke is, Benny Blanco, Max Martin, those classic, early 2000 pop guys. And I did my homework on them, and did my homework on some of the rock guys, too, like some band artists. And I just was doing homework, like, how do they write here? What do they do here? And then just started writing every single day for like 2019, all of 2019.
Okay.
And then I think COVID hit 2020, like around March.
Yeah.
So funny enough, and I was gonna ask you what Street Couch implied because in the early of 2020, from like January, like all of January and a little bit of February, I like was homeless and like living in my car and whatnot, and it was pretty nuts. Yeah, it was a pretty nutty experience. There's definitely some lows, but I mean, dude, I look back and I'm like, dude, thank God I went through some stuff like that. Like that's kind of like that survival mode.
I think whenever you're like in moments like that, you discover parts of yourself, you know, that will like propel you forward later on, you know?
Yeah, dude. That's exactly what happened, dude. I pretty much like I found out what I was made of, you know?
Yeah,
and
who you really are.
Mm-hmm. And I also found out like, do I really want this shit, you know? But at the same time, you know, I was smart. It was like, dude, like I'm living in my car. Like it's hard as fuck out here. Like I love LA, land of opportunity. I've met many friends, right? Like there's a producer group called Cash Gang that I got well affiliated with, and a dude named Bat Gang who's like super talented, has, you know, gold records and whatnot.
Damn.
And I'm kind of, you know, brushing over some stuff that like some people I've met that have helped me and changed my life too. But you know, I still have those guys that I talk to and work with, and my boy Madilla too, I still work with too. He plays saxophone.
Nice.
He's worked on some of my songs that are out right now, and I still like have great friends. But I just knew like, okay, I think I made enough of my connections. I think I got to go home and regroup. I got to take a step back so I can go forward. So, which it was, dude, looking back, it's like that was the perfect.
Yeah, like props to you, man, for like for thinking like that. Like instead of like, you know, like beating a dead horse, you know, like you gotta like realize, all right, man, it's time to like kind of like take a step back and like just like do this like the right way, you know?
Right, man. And you know, dude, again, you know, nothing happens for no reason. I come back 2 weeks later, everything shuts down. The pandemic hits, right? Everybody's stuck at home, and I'm like, God, thank God I'm here with my mom and dad, my family. I'm back home. Like everything's cool. Like at least because I couldn't imagine if everything shut down, I was back home. I was back in LA.
Yeah.
That would have fucking sucked.
Yeah.
That would suck. So I came back, and I can't lie, man. I think throughout those years, I think it was really it was 2020 through 2022. When I say I took a break, it's hard to say. So like in 2020, the COVID hit, and I wanted to put out music, and I put out a couple TikToks here and there, and I wanted to do that grind, but it just didn't feel right. Like I was promoting the songs, but it just did not feel like I did not feel excited to show people my TikToks. I didn't feel excited to show people my music even then. And I had some pretty decent stuff there in 2020. You know, I felt like I was doing some pretty cool like hip hop stuff.
Okay.
And 2021, I got into Playboy Carti, you know, dropped A Whole Lot of Red. I don't know if you like Playboy Carti.
I like one song by him. Yeah. I haven't really explored his full like discography, but I do like one song by him.
Okay, that's cool, man. So I come from a little bit of everything when it comes to genres, and I was heavily inspired by A Whole Lot of Red, that album he dropped, and I just started doing a bunch of like kind of like rage kind of songs.
Yeah.
A bit of screamo, but like auto-tunes, crooning and all that. But I pride myself on like, you know, doing really good beats though, and like the beats, as long as the production is really tight, I can just do my thing and feel confident about my lyrics and melodies. And was doing that for 2021, and I'm trying to make a plan on trying to perform that kind of music, but again, it just didn't feel, I didn't have the right connections. I didn't know how I wanted to do it either. And so I was still, you know, I was still working on music, but again, it wasn't locked in. Like I just didn't know. I was still new in the process of being an artist. And 2022, in the beginning of 2022, I got in a motorcycle accident.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, and I pretty much like, I got cut off, and I fell on the left side, and I fell backwards and everything. And dude, I had no helmet, dude. No, my head didn't get touched once, you know.
What the fuck?
I got.
It's a miracle, man.
Yeah, miracle, man, miracle. But I got cut up. I still have some cuts on me. But after that, I kind of like turning point. I'm like, oh fuck it, I need to, like, I could die tomorrow. So I'm about to go hard as fuck on my music now. And so that later that year in 2022, that happened early 2022, and then May of 2022, I recorded a song called "Enjoy the Ride," which is, if you go to my music, that's the first song that's out that I put out. And I haven't performed it yet. I'm actually going to perform it at my next show now.
Nice. White Oak?
You know, yeah, at White Oak.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
I will
man.
perform that song now. We're going to rehearse it, so we'll see how it goes. We should be able to perform it.
Sweet, man.
And a bit of a story on that one, but I can tell you a little later. But I recorded that one, and on the alternative side, it was kind of like the music I make now.
Okay.
And at that point, it was kind of like a light switch. It was a dim switch. It wasn't immediately like ding yet. It was still just kind of like dim, and I saw the flicker, and I'm like, wait, I could do stuff like this, you know. And then I still like was kind of, messing around, didn't really know. And then around early 2023, I started going to Baron Studios.
Okay.
And I'd say early 2023 is when I finally locked in and said, I went to the studio. I met my guy named Jason. His name's I Dream in Stereo. He's very popular. He works with so many awesome artists. He's a fucking beast of an engineer. Nice. Probably the best engineer in Houston. Well, one of them. There's no shade. One of them for sure. He's top 3. Like, he's insane.
Okay.
And he kind of we recorded an awesome song called I Shot the Sheriff. And he just gave me like all the motivation in the world. He was like, hey, like he kind of compared me to this other artist named Hotel Ugly, who's out of Houston. Do you know who that is?
No, I actually don't.
Okay. But just a little briefly.
I'll check him out.
Yeah, he's one guy, but he does like a whole kind of similar to what I do. And he like blew up like crazy on TikTok. He's from Houston.
I'll check him out for sure.
Dude, he had like 40-something million monthly listeners independently by himself, independent, right?
Yeah.
And when he's telling me the story of like he independently did this, it blew up on his own, like you can make X amount of money on your own independently. That's when the light bulb went off. Like, oh, I could do this. I could do whatever this sound I'm working on, and I could be successful off of it. Like, so after that, that's when I was like, all right, I'm gonna write this kind of music. And then from then on, 2023, that's when. May 2023 is when I had my recording sessions for Have Some Fun Before You Go. And so all of that, the first 4 songs were always kind of in my head. And then I finally were able to record it in May. And that's, you hear my sequence. Spirits, I actually wrote, it took me like 2 weeks.
It's a really good song.
Thanks, man.
It's really, really catchy.
It is very catchy. Dude, when I caught, so like, I think after the studio session, early 2023, after that first studio session with Jason, I found that melody. Like, I remember, I could tell you a little bit of the story. I might as well tell you the story of Spirits. Okay. So, I lived in with my parents, and they live in like upstairs, downstairs. And downstairs, the TV turns on by itself sometimes. And one night, I just went down, whatever. I think I stepped out for a smoke, maybe, or got something to eat, or like something from the pantry. And the TV comes on, and it spooked the fuck out of me. Scared me, man. And I literally had the thought of my name, the song name. I was like, dude, I swear there's spirits in my living room. I swear.
That's cool.
And then I remember just thinking like, oh, that sounds cool. That sounds like a song name. Yeah. That sounds really sick. And then that just stuck around for a little bit.
Okay.
And then a week later, I run into the Spirits production, right, from Gray Skies. He's the producer that did all he does all my work.
Okay.
And I was listening to it, and I was just mumbling across, and then I just was trying to figure out how to I was trying to think like Spirits. Yeah, I have an idea I had the other week, and then just kind of figuring it. And then through the mumble of the melodic mumble, you can hear me catch the hook.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
the mumble.
Okay.
Then the spirits in my living room. And I caught it, and I was like, oh,
That's
this is it. Yeah, but it took a while to write though. It took like maybe 2.5 weeks to like really get the lyrics, and because I really wanted to figure out like what am I saying here. Like I didn't want to just be like, oh, there's demons, there's spirits, bad spirits.
You wanted more like meaning to the song and stuff. Yeah.
And I didn't feel that. I was like, nah, there's no bad spirits here. So like let me figure out what I'm really trying to say. And essentially like what I kind of came up with was like, hey, there's good spirits in my life. There's like people that want to see me succeed. Like there's people like friends. Like, they're kind spirits that just want to have fun and have a good time. And and you kind of see that in the music video, and so yeah, man, that one took a little while, but all of that, I would say like through that 2020, that 2023 hiatus, I wouldn't say it's a break. It was just more like
you kind of went like underground a little bit, I guess.
Underground, super underground. Like a lot of this stuff, if you go to my SoundCloud, you hear everything I'm talking about. You'll hear the hip hop stuff. You'll hear the screamo rap stuff. You'll hear a little bit of all that. You'll kind of see the journey. But in 2023 is when I finally figured out like, okay, I want to go down this alternative pop path. And, and now, dude, I'm finishing up my next EP. Oh, now I'm doing shows, right? That's a whole nother conversation, right? Like doing making the songs, and then now saying, okay, like how do I go live with this? How do I should I get a band? Should I get a DJ? And then I was like, man, I need a band, man.
Or were you wondering like who to talk to get shows and stuff? Like how do I get booked? Or like did you know anyone in the scene yet?
Yeah, so my drummer's Mike. You know Mike, yeah? Mike Prime.
Oh yeah, Michael, yeah.
Mr. Michael
Hell
Luciano.
Yeah, dude.
So, my director for Spirits, he has a friend, I think named Anthony, that does like photography or something, right? And he asked him like, "Hey, yo, do you know like?" Because we wanted to get a band, we wanted to get like at least a drummer and a bassist to be in my music video, to put on the ghost outfit and play like fake play on my video.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew like I was adamant. I was like, no, like not just anyone just playing, like, yo, an actual drummer, like, because I know you're not gonna really play it, but you can look like you play it way better than somebody who doesn't play it.
Yeah.
And I want it to be a little more authentic.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Funny enough, yeah, he connected me to Michael and Pyro as well, and both of them, they showed up. They thought the music was cool. I showed them some of my stuff. At the time, they showed me some of their stuff, and we got really cool. Like Michael was a little, when I first met him, he was like a little, I wouldn't say he was short. He was just kind of feeling me out. I could tell he was kind of just trying to figure out like what I'm about.
Okay.
But I was still just being myself. I was like, yeah, man, I do this, I write that. I was just like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Very, cool. And but he had a great time. After that, he started hitting me up. He was like, "Hey man, can I send you?" Because I showed him my music and everything. Like, have some fun. I showed him that before I ever dropped it. And he was just like, "Hey, like, can I send you some of my stuff? Can I send you any of my ideas?" And then we started linking up, and we started working on. He started just showing me a bunch of his stuff and going back and forth. I made a post on Instagram like, "Hey, I'm looking to start a band. Like, if anyone knows anybody." And then he was just straight up like, "Hey, man, I'm throwing a show in the end." I think this is Julian mentioned this show where he, saw me. And
Okay.
It was that show at the end.
This was last year, right?
It was last year, that More Perfect Fest.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
He was throwing that show with his More Perfect Union band. And then he was like, "Hey, man, I'm down to play drums for you and have you on here. I got a homie who can play bass. If you can find the other pieces, like, we can do this." I was like, "Sure." And my boy Justice and at the time it was Chelsea, who was on keys, and Zach, who was on guitar too. I didn't play an instrument yet. I worked with them at my job, and we met up. I showed them my music, and we linked up for rehearsals, and we clicked in. And now, I mean, the band's changed a lot since then. Like, now I have different people and different pieces now, but Mike's still there. Mike's still drumming for me. So he's the one that kind of got me in the live scene.
Yeah, I can definitely
and I'm still
see
new.
that.
I still meet new people all the time. Like, still hear about certain people. I can't even really say I'm so much integrated in the local scene yet. Like, I'm still getting my feet wet.
It looks like you are, man.
That's cool. That's cool, man. And it feels awesome. But I still feel a little new. I still feel like after a year, I'm really happy to be where I'm at. And, especially with my show coming up, and that's pretty, exciting. But I'm still like kind of getting my feet wet. I still want to meet more people. I like to meet more, live people and promoters and stuff like that, and other bandmates too, like people who play shows. And dude, I get inspired seeing other people do.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, I like watching, how Orion did certain things. And
I got their bracelet right here.
Yeah, I did see that. You got the Orion bracelet. I just them, a couple other bands, Tino too. Like,
yeah, Uncle Tino.
Watching some of the way, even some of these Midnight Beverage. I watched some of the way they do some things.
They're really good.
They're a good time too, man. And I'm a sponge, man. Like, I'm very competitive as a hooper, and it's naturally to be very competitive. But I'm also
like learning from other people.
Oh yeah, I like to see like, ooh, that you do that really well. Like, maybe I won't steal it, but I'm like, how can I do something like maybe that
like, do it your
something?
Way.
Yeah, inspire like my version of something, And I've just picked up pieces watching people play. And my boy Mars,
Mars Alva.
Yeah, so he gave me a chance. After that show, he gave me a chance on January. He put me on their Break the Tension show. And
was that at Ojiman?
That was at Ojiman. Okay. Yeah, man. I did that one. That was a cool time. That was the first time I played guitar. Ojiman, actually, dude, their vocals or their sound design over there is pretty fucking good.
It's a really good venue.
It's a really good venue, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the spot's kind of what it is. It's cool. It's hella dive bar-y, but the sound sounds amazing there. Like, people,
they really improved it over time, because I've been there before and the sound was shit.
Really?
Yeah, but like, dude, now it's like, whoa,
they're pretty good.
Changed a lot.
Yeah, dude, they had like a little bit of reverb on my vocals, and that sounded good. I was like, dude, I was listening over the video. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I sounded good on that one. And then shortly after that, I met up with Inside the North Side, did my podcast there. But yeah, man, now here we are, and me and Mike are still playing. We got our band together. We got my boy JT on the guitar, my boy G String on the bass, G String, and we got my boy Johnson on the keys, and Mike's on the drums, and I'm playing guitar now. You know, I'm singing. I've always played guitar too, you know, but I was always like a pop punk kind of guy.
Okay.
Bunch of Green Day covers, Power Tabs, going on Ultimate Guitar, learning how to do some of the stuff. So I've always dabbled. I've always was, and I dabbled a lot. I used to live on my guitar band, but now I'm, you know, it feels good to kind of like go back and kind of like pick it up and say like, all right, now let's really play.
Okay.
Like, you know, especially with my music now.
Okay.
And so kind of brings me back to like, so the new stuff I have that I'm working on now, that's kind of like I played you a song earlier. We're going in that direction.
It's a really
now
good
where
song.
It's gonna be more like live grunge, like heavy guitars, you know, just more instruments, guitars, bass, like live instruments, guitar, bass, and drums, and instead of like the program pop drums, which are still a good time.
Yeah,
but I've kind of integrated into that field now.
Okay,
and so it's kind of crazy how, you know, everything kind of turns out. You know, in the journey, you know, if you just let it happen for you. You know
like it's also kind of what I was saying, how like when you go forward with your creativity, you can like make it like a culmination of everything you've been working on since you were a kid.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, you play guitar a little bit, you dabble in it, but then later on you're like, all right, like let me take that thing and like let me incorporate it into what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even with songwriting too, man. Some of the stuff that I'm writing now with the guitar stuff, like I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's like, yeah, a little bit. I mean, yeah, it's not a secret. I mean, I'm very inspired by Smashing Pumpkins, you know. When I was a kid, I used to like download. I was just I had a cool uncle who was a rock star, and so he like introduced me to like Nirvana, The Doors, and
nice.
Jimi Hendrix, Stones, Sex Pistols. Like he was just showing me all the shit. He was like a young uncle, and he used to just be like, "Yo, check this out." He was a badass guitar player. He still is, and he just showed me all the stuff, and I found Smashing Pumpkins on my own. I think I was just going hard on Nirvana on LimeWire, and I found, you know, Pumpkins were a part of that world at one point, and so I found them on LimeWire, and I remember just hearing like the heavier stuff, right? You know, and thought, oh, this is badass. And then the name Smashing Pumpkins, I'm like, oh, these guys go hard. And then I heard like some of their shoegaze influence stuff, and I'm like, is this like? I remember checking like the name, like, yo, this isn't the same band. What song is this? This isn't, you know? And I'm like, oh wait, this is the fucking same band, and like kind of getting integrated and seeing like that they sound different, like they have songs that are very different, and that spoke to me a lot as a kid. I was like, oh man, I want to do something like that. I want to do a song that sounds like this, and then a song that sounds like this, and so now when I write now, it's funny enough, I kind of dig back to that same brain. I'm like, okay, I want a song that sounds like this. It's a little different, but and this one to be like this. That's a little heavy, you know. So I'm a little all over the place, man. My influences I can gather from Smashing Pumpkins from the rock side to like Lil Wayne and Drake, you know. Although Drake was a little later in my teen years, but Wayne was definitely a high influence. You know, Houston rappers, Zero, like hip hop. Pop, I would say hip hop, pop music, and like rock and roll, like my main, those things. I used to just soak all that in, you know, that rock star, you know, pop star, just superstar energy. Soak all that in. I just would see it, and yeah, man, and also my, you know, surroundings too, right? When everybody knows all the lyrics to a Millie, you're gonna learn it too, you know, and. It's just, yeah, man. It's Houston for you. You know, you pick up everything, right? You pick up a little bit of, and I would say as far as like even maybe mariachi. I don't know, mariachi's maybe big on Houston, but like that's even just that. Like there's certain like elements of that. I've seen like when you turn on a mariachi song, how people go like in certain places. Some people are gonna be like, oh shit, like this is our shit. Definitely. You know, that kind of reaction of like, oh, this is our shit. You're playing this, like we all know the words to this, like you know what I mean. So it's cool, man. It's cool to see the full circle from, you know, 2020, you know, fighting all the depressing shit going on in the world and all that, and then figuring yourself out as an artist to now finally being like, okay, I know what I want to do. Like, and I may, you know, I don't know if I may do things differently, but I know that it's going to happen for me. Whatever is, you know, whatever decision I make is going to happen for me, whether I'm, you know, writing a rock song or writing another, you know, like R&B style song, like oldies R&B. I know like I'm gonna at least like it's happening for me. Like I'm not just forcing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Happens naturally, man. And I'm just grateful, dude. I'm honestly grateful that I'm at a place where I know exactly what I wanna I wouldn't say exactly, but I know
You're
I'm
on the right
in a good
path,
direction.
yeah.
I'm in a good direction. I know, like, okay, I'm on my path. Like,
No, that's good, man. Like
no
as
question.
long as you stay authentic and do what you like, I think
Exactly,
great
yeah.
things can happen.
Mhm.
Just keep working at it, keep grinding,
Mhm.
don't stop. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been fun, man. It's been fun. It doesn't end though. It doesn't end. I got a show next month, you know, and we're planning to kill that up. You know, September 14th. Yeah, I got a pretty good show planned for that. It's a home opener. So
dude, can't wait. I'll be there.
Yeah, you're gonna see. You know, we're gonna have our own uniform on and gonna be ready to play ball, man. We got to win the game. You know. So.
Oh yeah, dude.
We got a game going on. It won't be too High School Musical-y for y'all, but we will have uniforms on. Yeah.
Nice.
You will potentially see some basketballs too.
Okay, hell yeah, dude. It's cool hearing your story because like at the same time you were going through that like COVID basically. I was going through my own shit. Like I had moved out and everything. I had my apartment, and I was just like each month I had like less and less money, you know. And then like I was living with a girlfriend I was with at the time, and like that was falling apart too, you know. And during that time I had quit like music and like pretty much everything just to like focus on like my relationship and like, you know, like trying to get money for the apartment and stuff. And there was a point that I reached. I was like, dude, like I'm not doing anything for myself. You know, I'm not doing anything, and like I got really depressed. You know, just like being like that.
Oh, dude.
And the name Street Couch actually came from a band I used to be in back in like 2017.
Okay.
Because we called the band Street Couch because we used like a band name generator online. And I think the word that came up was road sofa or something like that.
That's pretty sick.
And then like my friend and I, my cousin Angel and I were like, you know what, let's change it to Street Couch. Like I think that would be cool.
That's pretty sick too. That's pretty gnarly, man. Well, you know, that's not, you know, Childish Gambino. I don't know if you know that story.
Yeah. No, actually, no, I don't know how he.
That's how he got his name.
Okay.
It was like a rap generator. You could still look it up. So I forgot what website, but if you look up the website he used, you can actually still go on that website, type in Donald Glover, and Childish Gambino will come up. Like he just said, "Oh, that's gonna be my name. Fuck it, that's my name."
That's cool. That's cool.
Now, like, you know, he's playing Toyota in a couple weeks. You know, like
he's a fucking superstar.
Yeah, he's a superstar. Great writer, great talented guy. Right?
Good actor
it's
too.
Just funny though that like that generator like can kind of, because that's a sick name. Either one of those is pretty sick. I like, dude, I'd run with either one of those names, Street Couch or Road Couch. Like, oh, that's pretty. It's pretty sick. It's not bad.
Yeah, because like I really like that name a lot because during like while I was in that band, we ended up changing the name because we got new members and they felt like they didn't have a say in like the band name, so we changed the name to Oak Drive, which wasn't that good in my opinion, you know. But like later after I quit music and like I reached that low point, I was just thinking to myself like, dude, like I really like that name, like Street, like it fucking sucks that it's never gonna be used ever again, you know. But I just kept thinking like, you know what, like I'm gonna ask the guys if they're cool with me using the name for like something else, like for a blog, for example. That's what I did. Like I thought like I watched that movie The Social Network.
Yeah.
And then like Mark Zuckerberg, you know, in the movie he was talking about actually not him, his friend, the guy who Andrew Garfield played.
Yeah. Eduardo.
Yeah, Eduardo. He was talking to Mark Zuckerberg about like his blog, and I was just thinking like, damn, like this dude has a blog, and like later in the future he's gonna have Facebook. And like I was just thinking like a blog would be a good start for something, you know. So I started a blog called The Street Couch. Like I have the logo here, the first logo I ever used. Yeah, it's right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first logo I ever used. And then like with the blog that I had, I only shared it with like my family members, like my cousins and like really close friends. And then later I thought, like, what if I make YouTube videos? You know, like, what if I, like, just talk to the camera about, like, random stuff? And then eventually I got the idea from Ulysses to get a podcast, you know? Because I found out he had a podcast. Because, like, he didn't hear from me from, like, years because I had quit social media and stuff. And, like, he said he thought I was dead.
That happens, dude. I've had homies, like, straight up call me out of nowhere. Be like, yo, I just want to make sure you're alive.
That happened, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, man. I've been there before, man. That's kind of the hiatus I went through. There's something similar. Like, not being on social media and the people are just like, yo, man, you're alive?
Yeah, I got concerned.
Right? Yeah, I'm here, bro.
And, like, I found his TikTok, his YouTube, and he had, like, interviews on there. He was doing Inside the North Side, and I thought it was really cool. Like, damn, dude, like he's doing all this. Why don't I have a podcast? Like, I have the interface, I have mics, and like, why don't I do something like that? So I invited my friend Furman from like 4th grade, I think. Like, that's when I met him, 4th grade. Like now he's doing physical therapy. Like he's trying to open up his own practice and stuff.
Ah, sick.
And like I wanted to pick his brain. Like how did he go like from here to here. You know, like I want to figure out how he did that. So I had him over. I was asking him about his work and like his school and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, cause like Street Couch Entertainment wasn't supposed to be like a music thing. It was just supposed to be like me interviewing my friends, you know, that are doing something. Mm-hmm. And eventually I had my friend Micah. He's in a band called Rochambeau. Mm-hmm. And because the reason I had him on is because he was in the military. Mm-hmm. You know, he's in the military. He's a National Guard, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh,
and like I wanted to pick his brain about that.
Yeah.
And then eventually people found out about that, like, oh, like Micah, like he's being interviewed by Street Couch, and then like I had other musicians hit me up, and that became like a whole different thing, you know, just me interviewing musicians, and that's what it is now. You know, it kind of evolved. It's pretty cool, like how like in your low points, like I was saying, that's when you have to like get creative and figure out how to dig yourself out from there. You know what I mean? Man. And from there, that's how like you find what you can use to like move forward.
Mm-hmm. And dude, man, it brings me here now, right? Like I've always wanted to kind of like go on I wouldn't say I've always wanted to do podcasts, but I've always wanted to make content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
content.
We were just talking about it earlier because you asked me like, hey, do you know anything about videos or anything like that? I'm like, nah, not yet. But I do. I had just got a camcorder, like old school like night vision kind of camcorder that you can hold in your hand. I have like a 360 camera, and I got my iPhone, and I got some little accessories. Like I got them in my backpack now, and like now and I feel so happy to say this, man. Now more than ever, I actually feel like I wouldn't say passionate, but I want to say I'm actually kind of excited to like I'm trying to make content as an artist, because it's weird, right? To be like, check out my music, bro, right? Like to kind of, you know, you don't want to.
It's kind of like too pushy, you know.
It didn't feel real to me, you know. I understand people that like put themselves out there, respect, but for me it was just like I can't do that. Like I'd rather like be funny on camera or say something dumb, or I'd rather just be, you know, myself. And I was just like, man, but how do I be myself on camera and, you know, get people to want to check out my joints? And so I did a little reel. You know, there's going to be way more reels after this comes out, hopefully. Yeah, but, like, I did a reel with, like, just me hooping and, like, just shooting around. And I shot it with my 360 camera, and I had to, like, track my ball and everything.
That's cool.
It was pretty cool. It looked pretty cool. And then I did, like, the little captions to put, like, my song lyrics for Mac and Cheese on there while I was shooting, like, and it was matching the words.
Okay.
And it took me about an hour to edit it. And I remember posting it. Like, I had to go to work right after I posted it. I remember posting it and just having, like, the biggest, like, dopamine rush of, like, I need to make the next one.
Yeah,
I can't wait to edit the next one. Like, what else can I shoot and then edit after, you know? And so it's the process, right? Like, I had to go through the process of being I had to go through the process of being an artist, and then now it's the process of like, okay, how do I be a content creator now? You know, now it's like, because I want to create content, dude. I'd love to make YouTubes and
TikToks and stuff.
TikToks, have fun. I'd love to do vlogs, man. Shout out to the kiddos.
Yeah,
man.
Shout out.
I love the vlogs.
The kiddos vlog.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool thing. I remember watching that and being like, man, I'd love to do something similar like that too. You know,
it's like behind the scenes kind of thing.
Behind the scenes, yeah. I have other ideas too. I guess I'll mention one. I don't want to get too in depth because I want to. You can speak it in existence, but I also don't want to jinx it. But like, I'd love to do like Let's Plays. I don't know if you know what Let's Plays are. Like
no, I don't think so.
So like, there's guys that would have like an hour or two long session. They'll have 3 homies probably with 3 microphones like set up, and they're all playing like maybe a single player game, or like maybe multiplayer game, and they're all just chatting shit, playing the game. They'll talk about the game a little bit, but but it's kind of like a mixture of like podcasting.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, like I think like, do you know who the Do is?
No.
I think he does stuff like that on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, like he'll just play with his homies and like they're just like talking bullshit the whole time.
Yeah, they're just talking. They might mention something that happens in the game.
Yeah.
But most of the time they're just like, yo, so what do you like? They're just bringing up scenarios, like just different funny topics.
Yeah.
Like, and then I've always wanted to do something like that, and so that may happen probably within the next couple years, but that's something I'll slowly want to integrate. But
that'd be really cool.
Yeah, man.
Maybe like Twitch streaming.
Twitch.
Like
I've thought about that. I'm a little cautious on Twitch just because live streaming. I do plan on live streaming on TikTok soon. I want to paint and chat with
nice.
Paint and chat kind of thing, something like that, something fun like that. But live streaming makes me a little. I don't know. I will say like seeing. Do you know who Sketch is?
No, I don't think so.
Sketch, he's the guy that's like, "What's up, brother?" the glasses. You know, he does this. You know
I've probably seen it, but I can't think of it.
He's very viral. He's like very popular amongst the streamer world. He's from Houston too.
Nice.
And he's kind of inspiring me a little bit.
Where is he? Like on Twitch, TikTok, or
he's on
YouTube?
He's on YouTube mainly. You'll see it. I think he's on Twitch. I don't know where he's streaming on. I should know, but I know you'll see all his highlights on YouTube.
Okay,
for sure. And yeah, man, I thought about maybe getting into live streaming too, but I always told myself like, okay, if I'm gonna live stream like that. You know, because he does like IRL streams. You know, the camera's walking around. He's going around doing stuff, right? He's not just in front of the desktop.
Yeah.
I've always thought about wanting to do that too, but I told myself if I'm gonna do that, I need to be full time. Like I can't. Essentially, I have to be able to quit my job. You know.
Yeah.
So that's not the day. That's not today yet. But the day I do get to quit my job and pursue my stuff full time, or music can kind of cover a lot of that stuff for me. I will want to do live streams. A lot of fun. But yeah, man, it's just funny. It's just funny how it takes time, but if it's real, if it's meant to happen, you'll plan for it. Mm-hmm. You'll make something happen out of it. Yeah, like how you did with Street Couch, right? Love the idea, man. I like the entertainment, the website, the vlogs, the YouTubes. Like that's like it's a hub, man. It's cool to see it turn into something. And it's crazy. Like something can be like a cool idea, for one thing, and then give it enough time, it turns into something else. Yeah.
Yeah, just be patient because people are scared of like putting out stuff that isn't good, but you kind of have to like learn from it. You know, like do it and then like okay, figure out how you're gonna improve next time, or like, you know what I mean, like let it evolve on its own.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, man. I can't lie. I've definitely removed a lot of. I've made music on like I've dropped stuff on like Apple Music and everything like that, and I've removed before. Like I've been there before where I dropped it and then just didn't. I just knew I didn't love it. I knew I didn't love it, man.
I've done the same thing, man.
It's tough. It's a tough thing to do because you get attached to those songs. You get attached to some of your work. But sometimes you just got to let it go. You just got to be like, because you just feel it. Like my music I have out now, like I'll scream it to the whole world, like, oh, check it out. Yeah, okay, you should check out my stuff. I tell everyone I meet, like, you should check out my stuff. You might like it. And you just know, like early in my years, even when the stuff that I knew that was pretty fucking good, like, oh, this is definitely good. Mm-hmm. I didn't have that fire. I didn't have that feeling of like, you should definitely check this out. It was more like,
I know what you mean. Embarrassed. Like in a way, it's kind of like building your brand and like figuring out what isn't your brand and what is your brand.
Yes.
Okay, this is me. This is not me. Okay, like let me take this off, but leave this up and promote this more because this is what I want to be like perceived as.
Right, man. You kind of hit the nail on the head, man. Like kind of figuring out like it's just the brand. It's really branding. That's really all it is. Branding's a natural thing. You can't force it.
Yeah. Like if you're trying to like do anything like that like for example like creativity or like with business, like you need a brand so people can recognize it and they're like, okay, that's Andyland, or
Mm-hmm. And so funny we bring up branding because I got
the whole basketball thing going
on here now, man. So yeah, man. I kind of maybe give you a little backstory. So I did used to hoop back in the day. I did play a lot of AAU ball. I can't lie. Anyone who's went to school with me knows that I was a pretty bad hooper at one point. Like I actually was like very bad, but I loved it. I fucking loved playing ball. I loved like even though like even like back in middle school when back in the kids I used to hoop with, man, they were tough, man. It was ruthless, man. If you sucked, you were gonna know. Like it was gonna be loud. Like no one was gonna be quiet about it. Everyone was gonna know you suck. And you have to deal with that. You got to, and showing up every day to gym to try and get better, and going through all that adversity. I'm super grateful for that. But at the same time, I found this list. I wrote this list when I lived in LA. Because I remember because when I went to music, I was like, man, let me really make sure I know what I'm doing here. Like, I think I got inspired by some YouTube video. I was like, all right, I'm going to write a list of like top 5, like top 10 things that I would do if I could do it every day. And the first one was music, clearly, the one. And the second thing was basketball. I was like, dude, I would love to, if I could just hoop every day, make music every day, that's like a dream to me. Like I can get up early, hoop, and then just make music all day, and repeat, rinse and repeat, play shows, do all that too. But
it kind of just gave me an idea, like for you, like, you know how there's like influencers or whatever, and they each have like their own niche. What if? Because I haven't seen this personally. Like there probably is people that do this already, but like, what if there's like an influencer that like does like basketball videos, like. Right. Even though they're not like a professional player, what if they just focus on like basketball videos?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
So that's actually kind of what inspires my content that I'm going for right now. There's a bunch of dudes. There's this dude I follow named Dabbly Ducks. He's like really sick. He does a lot of. He's like a dude who taught himself how to hoop, and he has like really cool highlights, and he does like educational stuff. Like there's people who are entertainment and educational. I'm definitely not planning on being one of those educational guys for sure, but I definitely want to be one of those guys that one day to maybe just like mic myself up and play like a pickup, because I have a lot of fun, man. I talk a lot too. I don't talk a lot of trash, but I talk a lot. I just have a lot of fun.
Like while you're playing?
Oh yeah, I'm always talking. I'm just always yapping, bro. It's a fun time.
That's cool, man.
It's a fun time, and so. I kind of want, that is kind of something I'm gonna go for, like kind of integrating, you know, playing ball with my music. And you know, I can't even lie, when I make music, you know, I kind of like imagine like, would I play ball to this, you know?
Dude, it's funny you mention that, because I've only released one single like under my name. And then while I was writing that song, because I'm not a skater, you know, but I love skating videos, or like I appreciate people who do skate.
Oh yeah.
And like as I was writing it, I was like, okay, like I want this to be a song that people can jam to while they're skating.
Yes,
or like,
dude.
You know, something like that.
I did. So that's actually what Have Some Fun, my EP. That's actually where it was inspired. It was inspired by skateboarding. So my friend Medilla, he's an engineer, and he was working closely with this pro skater named Zion Wright.
Okay.
And it kind of just showed me some of his stuff, and I just got super inspired. Like I just started. I bought my own skateboard. I met this guy named Wolf Trap Road. He's from L.A. He skates for Tony Hawk.
Dude.
At Birdhouse.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and he personally taught me certain tricks, and he like kind of just explained things to like kind of introduce me to like the culture, the skating culture.
Okay.
And man, I can't lie, like skateboarding, like I'm even willing to say it almost kind of saved my, like, I wouldn't say saved my life. It kind of reignited my inspiration.
Okay.
Because it was something fresh. It was new. Because I'm big on like hoop mixtapes, like, you know. And then when I see skate videos, it's kind of like, oh, it's like a skate mixtape kind of thing.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of the same thing. And you know, basketball and skating are a little similar as far as like street culture.
Yeah.
And that's actually funny you mentioned skateboarding, because I'm like, man, dude, skating like really inspired me too. And like I want to skate to this too, right? Like I have a song called Midnight Cherry. It's real slow, but I was skating to it one day, just down a hill in LA. I'm just like, oh my god, this song, dude, like it just feels so right. Like, it was like late at night too. And the song's called Midnight Cherry, and I was just like, oh, this feels good.
It just made sense, you know?
Yeah, man. And so I'm big on vibes, you know? Like, if I don't try not to think about anything too hard when I'm writing, but I do like to feel something. I want to feel something, you know?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of songs I have where I don't feel something, but still a banger.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes, you know, put it out, like, maybe I can't, you know, skate to this.
Chill, man. It's getting crazy right now.
It's getting lit, dude. But yeah, man. Yeah, dude. It's so cool how, like, you know, like thinking about all this stuff like skating and basketball, having that incorporated with my, like, me as in my brand. Right, but it's natural. Like
like you actually like it.
I actually fuck with it, you know, and I actually want to know. I would, you know, I think like that. How to Win Friends and Influence People. They tell you,
it's like, a good book.
They tell you, it tells you like, how do you want, like, what do you want people to know about you, kind of thing. That's kind of like the thing. Like they talk, especially the online version. There's an online like marketing version of that. Have you heard of that one?
Okay. No, I actually haven't.
So there's the original, and then there's one for like the internet.
Okay. Yeah, damn, like, I actually never knew.
Yeah, and I've been actually reading it right now, and one of those first things they say is like, yeah, you want to, like, what do you want people to know about you? Not so much like, oh, what do you like? Don't try not to make things for people, but more so like, what can, you know?
That makes a lot of sense.
What do you want people to know about you? And I would love people to know that I love writing songs and singing songs and playing basketball.
Okay.
You know, keeping it simple for now. There's a lot of things I love. I love video games too, like how we talked in the beginning. So, yeah, man, it's just creating my own world, man. That's something like you're doing too. You know, you're creating your own world too. You know, Street Couch Entertainment, Andy Land. creating our own world.
Like it sounds like a little world, you know,
yeah,
like Andy Land.
Yeah, man, it essentially is. You know, I am trying to, and you know, it kind of goes well with me because I'm always in my fucking head. I'm always just like in La La Land. So, and sometimes, you know, people are just like, yo, like sometimes I'm just thinking about something. I'm looking around like, Andy, yo. I'm like, what? I'm just,
Bro,
I get like ideas, or sometimes I'll just think of a funny video, or I don't know, my head's just everywhere sometimes, man.
You ever gotta keep taking your phone out to like write down like a note or like something like that?
I don't do that as often as I used to. So I definitely do that with lyrics or like cool words, or like sometimes I'll think of something cool, like I don't know, I'll think of like a cool phrase, like, or maybe I'll say something like Spirits, right? Like I thought the name of that song, like Spirits in My Living Room, and I just knew like, oh, that's a song right there, that's something there, you know. And like even like a song on my next EP, it's called the Gummy Bears, and it doesn't have to do with anything, you know, with the song, but my bassist G String, he just said it to me. He was like, "Hey man, you should name a song called Gummy Bears," and it just clicked. It's one of those things like I'm big on that. Right. I'm big on that, like on the intuition when it feels right. And when he said that, I was like, "Oh, that feels right."
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. Yeah. It's so he said that, and I was like, "Oh, like I think I need to change." I changed the song name to one song, and I'm like, "This is gonna be called Gummy Bears." It feels right, you know.
Okay.
And so I'm just big on like that first spark, that intuition. You know, and yeah, man, I want to definitely write way more songs that are like that, and create videos that are like that, where it's just like that ding, that first inspiration. You don't think about it, it just feels right. Like, oh, it feels right, let's go. Got another show on October 5th at the Indie Experience. It's gonna be a really fun time.
Where's that gonna be at?
That one's closer to, man, I don't want to butcher it for my guy. Closer to like maybe Pasadena. Don't drool on my phone, dude. Closer to like Pasadena, I think. A little more on the east side. I don't want to get that wrong, like Alameda Road or something like that.
Okay.
And then, yeah, man, the next EP, the second one of the. I don't want to spoil it. It's the second one of the trilogy, though. I'll just say it. There's a trilogy with these EPs. You know, Have Some Fun's the first one, and the next one is I Shot the Sheriff. Coming November something.
Okay.
Definitely November. And then yeah, be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for my content. It's cool, man. You can show some love, man. You want to play with the ball? Yeah, man. More content. You're gonna see a bunch of content from me. You're gonna see me on your feed probably a lot more than usual now. And
oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. September 14th, got a big show. Shot the Sheriff, coming soon, man. Coming soon.
Nice, man. So, thanks for being on here, dude.
Dude, I appreciate you having me, bro. It was a good time.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, sorry about the dog.
Nah, the dog's sick, dude. The dog's a great time. I love Kobe. Heck yeah. I love Kobe too, man. Kobe 24, you know. I will say, like, quick disclaimer, like, I do have basketball heroes, man. You know, Michael Jordan obviously is huge to me, but Kobe passed away in 2020, and that's another thing that sparked me too, man.
Okay.
Like, that dude's one of my, like, I'm just a big Kobe fan, and that dude inspired the fuck out of me too.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Do this thing. And so, yeah, man, follow your fucking dreams, guys. Follow your fucking dreams. You know, don't give up. You know, if you stay in the game, you're already ahead of a lot of people. I've seen many, and I won't say names, but I've seen many people fucking not only not drop ever, but I've seen people like super talented with amazing music give up. Like, they're like lawyers now. They're like it's crazy stories. Like, I'm in Los Angeles, I know new guys that were just amazing, super talented. They're like lawyers now. They live a regular life now. They're not, dude, and I think they could have accomplished more stuff, but maybe they didn't want it bad enough. Maybe they didn't want to keep going. And it's a long fucking journey, man. You know, we all see the 1%ers that make it, you know, that are like amazed, that are, you know, just get lucky, really. Let's call it what it is. They get lucky. But most of us, 99% of us, man, we have to be in it for the long game.
Yeah,
so that's
sure, man.
Don't give up.
Don't
fucking give up.
Because like, what if you give up and then like the next year, like you would have like reached
got something,
you know? Yeah,
right, man. And you'll never find that out until you just
keep doing it.
You'll never find out, because so many, like, even now performing the show, I'm like, dude, like, imagine if I had not gone with a band, or just a lot of things, like, had I not done, like, I would not be here doing what I'm doing right now. you know. So
it's cool how everything's coming together, dude.
Right, bro. Yeah, it's all connected, man. All connected. The music and life goals and everything. Even if it doesn't have to do with music, whatever it is, like whatever speaks to you, you know, fucking keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Don't stop, man. And have some fun. Always have fun, dude. You know, that's what have some fun before you go is all about. Like, yo, like whatever it is you want to do, like make sure it's fun. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta
it doesn't
have
have to be
fun with
like
it.
Basketball video. I mean, I'm pretty, you know, childlike with it. Yeah, basketball video games, you know, but you know, just have fun. You know, if you like writing papers, you like, you know, crunching numbers, you know, whatever in your job, like if it's fun, man, fucking do it, man. Have some fucking fun.
Oh yeah, preach.
Preach. Man, thank you again, bro. This was a good time, bro.
Thank you for reaching out, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm really glad to be a part of this, man. Street couch. We should do this on a street couch.
Yeah, like eventually, like that's the plan, you know.
Yeah.
That's the plan to have like an actual street couch.
That would be pretty rad.
And like someone gave me an idea, like to like have like a picture of the skyline like behind me, like a big poster or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe like different. Well, you got to be careful where you do it, right? But like maybe in different locations. Like I know we talked about trying to go to the basketball park in Houston, and that probably would have been a cool time, but. I don't know, maybe find you like a street couch you could just take with you everywhere.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Dude, yeah. In the future for sure.
Speaking it out, yeah, speaking into existence, huh? Oh, yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us. This has been Andyland.
Yes, sir.
You can follow him on Instagram. His music is pretty much out anywhere, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
All right. Everyone, have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good life.
Appreciate it. Have some fun.
Hell yeah.